Hi, in this lecture, we're going to look at the main preferences in Ableton Live 10. So these are the preferences to get you up and running and to start making music. So to go to preferences, you click on Live and then go on Preferences. For a PC, I believe it's under Options. And here we have a few different settings on the side here. So look, feel, here we can choose our language. And here we can zoom the display in. I currently have the display zoomed in. You can either zoom this out and it will fit to size as well. So I like to have 150 personally. That's just me though, because I do create lectures, so it is easier if it's zoomed in a bit more. Okay, going down, we do have theme. So we can choose different themes. We have light, dark, Live 9. So the default is mid-light, but go through and choose the ones. I quite like dark, but it really doesn't matter too much. It just depends on what you're used to. Then we have the brightness, if you want to make it brighter or not. Double click to go back to the default. Color intensity, the hue as well. So we can change it with the hue. Can get a little too, a bit too much. So I'm just going to bring it back to the default. Okay, going down, we have audio. So the default for Macs is the core audio. And here we have input devices, so for audio input. So this is for your audio interface if you want to record any audio, such as a microphone or say a guitar. Then if you click on this, your audio interface should appear here. Mine's a Scarlett 2i2. And the same with the output, you could have it appear here as well. If you're just making music with MIDI or just on your laptop with no microphones, you don't actually need an audio interface to do this. You can select built-in input and built-in output. And then we have sample rates, 44,100 or 48,000 are both fine. Then we have buffer size. The lower we go, the less latency we might get. If your computer is struggling, maybe increase your buffer size, but the default one is absolutely fine. Then we have test tone. This is just to test that your speakers are working really and your output's working. You can change the tone, you can change the volume. Okay, and going along we have link MIDI. So if you have a MIDI device, a MIDI keyboard, or say a MIDI controller like a Push 2, it will appear here. At the moment I've just got my MIDI keyboard plugged in, which is this Oxygen 25. And here we have track and remote turned on. So track basically means we can play notes on the keyboard, and remote means we can actually sync this to certain devices or knobs in Ableton Live. So for example, you want to MIDI map something to a knob on your controller or a dial, make sure remote is also turned on. For now though, we don't need output turned on. You can leave this on off. If your controller does not appear automatically down here, which it normally will, you can find it in this drop-down box here where it has most of the compatible controllers that are used in Ableton Live. Okay, going down, we have file folder. So here in plugin sources, this is where you can rescan your plugins. So if you have any external plugins, say for example, any external keyboards or any plugins by companies such as Waves or Native Instruments or anyone like that that has third-party synthesizers or plugins, you can rescan them here. These are plugins though that are not included in Ableton Live. They're from other manufacturers. A lot of the time they are paid plugins as well. And if you are using a Mac, you will get audio units. If you're using a PC, it'd be VSTs. But Mac actually does allow you to have VSTs and AUs, audio units as well. Okay, going down we have a library. I wouldn't really worry about this too much. Then we have record, warp, so you can choose a file type. So you could have AIFF or WAV. Either is absolutely fine. Bit depth, 24 is fine. Counting, I do like to have 2 bars of counting or 8 clicks. So when you record, you've got a bit of time to prepare yourself ready to play. Okay, going down, we have warp mode. So you can choose your default warp mode. There is a lecture about warping in this tutorial series. So if you do want to learn more about warping, make sure you have a look at that lecture. But beats is fine. And this one's quite important. Create fades on clip edges. So this is basically to stop the pop sounds at the end of clips. It will create crossfades, so it will just get rid of some of the popping sounds. We have launch mode as well down here. I wouldn't worry about this too much if you're brand new to Ableton Live. And then going down, we have licenses, where you can have a look at your Ableton license. So this is just a quick run through of the preferences, because I know sometimes when you open up a digital audio workstation, when you're brand new to it, you don't want to go through all the preferences. You just want to jump in and start making music straight away. So I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown so you can go in and just set this up as soon as possible so you can start making your music. I'll give you another run through. So you have the look feel, you can have the zoom display, you can have the theme. Audio, this is where you set up your audio interface. You have your sample rate and your buffer size. Then link MIDI, this is where you can set up your external MIDI controllers or MIDI devices. File folder, this is where you can scan for your audio units or VSTs, your third-party plugins or synthesizers. Library, I wouldn't worry about that too much right now. Warp mode, here you can choose your file type and your warp mode, and that's basically it. So I hope you found this lecture useful, just so you can just understand the preferences quickly, go in and start making music.